Welcome back, everybody. Chris here with problems and solutions. So, in this video, I want to go through and just kind of highlight current problems and proposed solutions. So that way you can kind of see the visions over the next 3 years of what I plan on working on and addressing. One thing I do want to kind of touch base on is over the recent problem, which is our potential government shutdown that was essentially can-kicked for 6 weeks into November. You seeing current leadership take to the news essentially. However, the solution that I provided was members before media, and I was on Facebook providing members PDFs to the IRS Fiscal Lapse 2024 guidance, along with the OPM, which is the Office of Personnel Management, shutdown guidance for furloughs. A lot of people, I seen a lot of you members sharing it. I seen some of you guys thanking me for it. Again, I had that out there within 24 hours of its actual release date, so that way everybody was able to use it as a vital reference. So that was the solution I thought was best suited for that time, not just going and complaining essentially, but just getting information out there. Moving on to my next problem, it'll be restoring faith and reputation of the union, and how I plan on doing that. The solution would be diminishing our inventory and producing results, letting our work speak for itself, per se. Next will be our low win rate. And so our low win rate, if you haven't seen it yet, you might go ahead and check some of the other videos. I kind of broke down some of the statistics and some of the numbers of the that was provided. However, like our current win rate is 19.66%, as I identified in earlier videos. We need better training, and we need to replace those that aren't willing to learn. For those that are willing to learn, or for those that we can't replace, we're going to go ahead and just provide additional training and work hands-on with those individuals. Next will be our low arbitration acceptance. So again, if you don't know this, only the chapter president can send to arbitration, and our current acceptance rate is 70%. So the obvious solution would be to, being that we're in a campaign, is to go ahead and elect out the current incumbent and bring in new leadership that can provide a statistic that would not be considered failing on the floor. For example, if employees are held to standards that are higher than your own representation, that's just, again, that's not right. Moving forward, it's going to be low accessibility. So again, this one I've kind of beat in, but it's opening our doors. Them doors being open from basically from start to finish of each work day that employees are in that campus. That's going to be vital, along with one thing I also considered is adjusting my TOD to straddle both days and nights, along with coming in on the weekends occasionally to check out on all shifts, make myself available to all shifts, something that I haven't seen much of out of prior leadership. So moving forward will be our outdatedness. So outdated, basically the way like that, again, our problem being outdated, and our solution is going to be creating an app, reaching out to national, either creating a new local chapter app, or potentially maybe suggesting that we could get a tab on the national app for each local chapter, so that way it would increase accessibility while still requiring membership to kind of incentivize membership growth while giving better accessibility, along with some of the ideas that I mentioned in some of my other videos that we could potentially do with the app. That being like a calendar, which NTU National has on theirs already, of upcoming events, but we could expand on that by maybe giving the count to overall grievances on each service center, or giving like status updates, or giving push notifications, request, giving an ability to file your documentation through the app potentially, whether it be your POA or like a request for a meeting, or maybe even to schedule an appointment. These are all different things that we could easily do with an application. Moving forward is going to be our bad screening. So again, it breaks down to additional screening, additional training, I apologize, along with establishing accountability. If we consistently keep getting things wrong, if there's a steward that keeps essentially just running with things that are non-grievable, there's absolutely no reason that they should continue on, in my opinion. And again, that's after we give them some training. I'm going to try to work with them first. However, if they're not showing improvement or willing to improve, then we'll replace. Next will be our numbers not aligning, which this was again clearly pointed out in earlier videos. This starts out with an audit. I mean, that's the easiest solution. Next would be low transparency. And again, this just breaks down to posting our case numbers. The total case numbers are won, lost, pending, and I would even be willing to maybe even separate out what we've sent to other areas such as EEO, which is equal employment. So next would be backlog cases. So this is going to be simply addressed by adding structure, along with some increased organization around the office, and more stewards if need be. And so, I mean, that it's obviously, and it's going to take some time, but I'm confident with somebody in there willing to go through and address problem after problem, and willing to go to war on your behalf. We will get through these and get caught up rather quick. I'm not one that likes to be buried in work. I like to be current and efficient. Again, one thing I was very good at in management was efficiency. The thing that I can kind of highlight on is during my time in management, in order for me to get an exceeds in the area that I was in, they had an expectation for me to increase production by 3%. And at the end of my time in management, when I looked at the reports, honestly, day by day, you don't really notice the change that you bring. However, after several months, just shy of a year, looking at the reports of the difference that was brought, it was a 33% increase. It was 11x of what was expected on an exceeds, the best you could do. So that's the type of efficiency that I really want to bring in and start combating these backlogged cases. Next will be our timeliness. Timeliness is a big factor when it comes to filing grievances, responding, etc. And if that's a reason for why they're losing a lot of these cases, I could see it, that being an issue at least. We're going to provide a solution by creating things such as flow charts to put up to better assist the union stewards. We could have date charts that kind of shows the required response times, wait times, just essentially filing times. We really need better tools and guidance for these stewards because when we're seeing them on Facebook kind of just spreading fear instead of education, it's very clear that there's a lack of training. Next is going to be ordering issues. So again, our problem with the ordering issues is going to be every Employee Appreciation Day, you see the food run out for night shift. This is a big issue with night shift. We hear this complaint time and time again because we know when you go and order a bunch of food, it's obviously going to make its way through days. Everybody's going to get what they were kind of essentially promised. However, when it gets to nights, all those people, all those members that pay dues show up and you don't even have but maybe a bag of chips left, which is absolutely insane to me. So again, the solution to that is just providing some math. So get getting an actual count of who's going to show up, and getting just over that. You need a buffer level essentially. And if we have just a hair, I'm sure the members would much rather have a couple dollars go over and above and per se be wasted, or not even necessarily wasted, but we could even look into just passing forward that food to some of the going and handing out the excess, if there is, to some of the homeless, rather than just running out and being short falling on your members. Next will be our contract vagueness, and this just simply comes from better bargaining along with better negotiations, which you'll definitely get from myself. As you highlight issues within the contract, if we sit down together and we can't find clarity in it, if we can't sit down and show you where it clearly says that one way or another, then we're gonna go combat that and get that cleared up. Last and not least is going to be restoring trust. Restoring trust starts by, again, letting our work speak for itself. However, our work, it's not the employee's job to do our job. So one of the solutions is I've noticed they put out a employee, it's like a grievance checklist for the employees, and a lot of it is like you go and request all the documents and you build your case to bring to us. I mean, I guess I could see maybe that's why, like, because they're so backlogged, that's why they're trying to have the members do the footwork, so that way they can try to work on the backlogged cases. But in the earlier videos, again, when they state that only 71 are being researched yet, like 280 of them are open, well, what are you doing with the rest of them? You know, why aren't they all being researched? You know, are they just sitting waiting to age? You know, so that's, we can't have the members having to do all their footwork. The whole point of this is the members should be able to walk in the doors that are open, provide their concerns, be able to either sit down right at the time with the union steward to address either the issues or their concerns, or to schedule a meeting if they're busy, and then be able to contact them timely and go over their issues to be able to come to a resolution. And if we can't come to a resolution, then we need to process that grievance, hold the agency accountable, and if for whatever reason we still can't come to an agreement through the grievance process, then again we push to arbitration, and we fight for what's right through arbitration. That's the grounds we're going to do. And again, I'll be, every opportunity that obviously arises, I'm going to take that opportunity to network, to reach out for guidance, for education, to try to bring out, I'm gonna look at what things other unions are doing, what other locals are doing, and try to bring things that may be more efficient there to our campus, or vice versa. Again, I hope I have your vote. I look forward to starting on the 21st for an epic 3 years of rebuilding and restoring the faith and trust in our local NTU Chapter 66. Help me help you as we move forward on this journey together. Thank you, and have a fantastic week.